Sirius. You've seen Sirius, even if you didn't know it. It's that aggressively bright dot in the night sky, the kind of star that doesn't just twinkle, it demands attention. If space had influencers, Sirius would be the one with the right light, perfect angles, and a sponsorship deal with the Milky Way. It's technically not the most powerful star out there, but it's the brightest in Earth's night sky, and that counts for something. Sirius is about 25 times more luminous than the Sun, but what really puts it in the spotlight is its proximity, which is why it burns through the atmosphere like it's trying to get on television. Its apparent magnitude sits at a dramatic 1.46, nearly double the brightness of the next star on the list. That's the kind of lead that would get you drug tested in sports. At just 8.6 light-years away, it's basically next door, the closest any real star gets to Earth without needing a restraining order. And then there's the nickname, the Dog Star. It lives in the constellation Canis Major, which translates to Big Dog, which feels extremely on-brand. Sirius shows up early, stays late, and barks bright enough to drown out lesser stars. The ancient Egyptians timed the flooding of the Nile based on its rising. Other civilizations built myths, calendars, and whole spiritual systems around it. The modern sky still can't shut up about Sirius. What a lot of people don't realize is that Sirius is actually a duo. Sirius A is the diva in front, but Sirius B, its companion, is just as fascinating. A white dwarf that's collapsed into something smaller than Earth but heavier than your unresolved issues. It's dense, dead, and spinning quietly in the background like a ghost that used to be someone important. Sirius isn't the most massive. It's not the hottest, but it's loud, close, and eternally visible. The star equivalent of someone who turns every casual group photo into a headshot. You don't pick Sirius out of the sky, it picks itself. Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is a blazing red supergiant perched on Orion's shoulder about 640 light-years away. It is swollen to a ridiculous size, so wide that if you dropped it into our solar system, it would engulf everything out to Jupiter. But Betelgeuse's power comes at a cost. Like all red supergiants, it's reaching the final act of its life, massive, unstable, and burning through its fuel faster than its battered frame can handle. Its surface swells and pulses, throwing off massive storms of gas and dust as it tries, and fails, to keep itself stable. In 2019, Betelgeuse pulled a stunt that stunned astronomers. It suddenly dimmed by nearly 60%, triggering a global scramble to figure out if it was about to explode. Instead, Betelgeuse had thrown off a chunk of its own surface, which is a mass ejection hundreds of billions of times larger than anything our sun has ever produced. The material that was shot out formed a gigantic dust cloud that actually blanketed the star, temporarily hiding its glow. Even after recovering its brightness, Betelgeuse remains a popular bipolar queen of instability. Massive bubbles of gas dance frequently inside, pushing against the star's stretched skin. On the outside, its uneven brightness hints that the structure holding it together is slowly losing the fight. When Betelgeuse finally goes out, it will go supernova. For weeks, its explosion will rival the full moon, easily visible even during the day, throwing shadows at noon and carving a new hole in the night sky. UY Scuti. Imagine waking up one morning to find another sun that makes our sun look like a torchlight. That new sun would be UY Scuti. This absolute unit isn't just big, it's ridiculously big, about 1,700 times wider than our sun. If you swapped out the sun for UY Scuti, the star would swallow up Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and still have so much room left over, like the guy unbuttoning his pants after Thanksgiving dinner. UY Scuti sits about 5,870 light-years away, quietly flexing out in the constellation Scutum. It's what's known as a red supergiant, which is the universe's way of saying still glowing, but kind of falling apart. Its surface temperature is just 3,300 Kelvin, which is cold by star standards, only about half as hot as the sun. But when you're putting out 340,000 times more light, you don't really need to sweat the details. You would think with all that bloated glory, UY Scuti would be older than our sun, but this isn't the case. UY Scuti is just about 10 to 20 million years old, while our sun has been chilling for about 4.6 billion years. But it doesn't look like UY Scuti might maintain its size for long. It might either go out in a hypernova explosion or collapse into something even stranger, like a hotter, more compact star. Despite its huge size, don't think you can spot this space titan with your naked eye. It's stuck at a 9th magnitude brightness, meaning even if you squinted so hard you created new wrinkles, you wouldn't see it without a telescope, which is kind of ironic. One of the biggest stars in the Milky Way and still needs PR to get noticed. Hey, since we're talking big, one big thing you might consider is clicking that subscribe button. WR102. WR102 is the hottest known star. This basically means our sun is an easy bake oven compared to it. This isn't your average fiery ball of gas. WR102's surface temperature is a mind-melting over 200,000 Kelvin, and that's more than 35 times hotter than our own sun. But being a super hot star, the WR102 is quite rare. Not just limited edition rare, it's a WO-type Wolf-Rayet star. Only one of about 10 known across the whole visible universe. You have a better chance of running into Bigfoot riding a unicorn than finding another one of these freaks. And WR102 isn't just ridiculously hot, it's actively ripping itself apart like a rock star smashing guitars on stage. Thanks to its feral stellar winds, it's blasting away at a sun's worth of material every 100,000 years. And at this self-destructive pace, WR102 is basically writing its own eviction notice from existence. It's gunning for the most dramatic exit possible, a supernova so violent it could rip through nearby space like a bomb in a crystal shop. Astronomers gave it the galactic equivalent of a doctor's prognosis. WR102 has less than 2,000 years left before it kabooms in spectacular fashion. In cosmic terms, that's like hearing, your lease is up next Tuesday. With luminosity over 380,000 times greater than the sun, and mass loss so dramatic it's practically shedding pieces of itself like a badly glued together piñata. WR102 is living fast, dying young, and leaving behind one hell of a cosmic mess. S4716. If the universe ever held a cosmic drag race, S4716 would already be waiting at the finish line, checking its watch and tapping its foot. This little overachiever isn't just fast. It's the fastest star we've ever found, clocking in at a mind-melting 8,000 kilometers per second. Yes, you heard that right. 8,000 kilometers per second. At that speed, you could go from New York to Los Angeles in less time than it takes to sneeze. Twice. Speed stars have a thing for the thrill, and S4716 does as well. Considering how dangerously close it lives to Sagittarius A, the supermassive black hole chilling, or rather broiling, at the center of our Milky Way. This daredevil orbits the black hole in just 4 Earth years. For comparison, Pluto is over here taking 248 years to do a single lap around the sun like it's running a marathon in flip-flops, while S4716 is basically Tokyo drifting around the cosmic monster like it's late for work. Scientists spotted S4716 using the Very Large Telescope. It's a real thing. Astronomers were apparently too tired to get creative that day. After years of careful observations, they realized S4716 wasn't just flirting with danger, it was doing donuts in the black hole's driveway, and somehow it's not shredding into space spaghetti by the insane gravitational pull. Probably because it's so fast that even gravity can't catch its breath. S4716 isn't even some ancient battle-hardened star, it's surprisingly young. You'd think that being born and raised next to a galactic horror movie would make a star cautious. But nope. S4716 said, YOLO, and hit the gas. Astrophysicists think it got this ridiculous speed boost from gravitational interactions with other stars, basically getting slingshotted like a pinball at Machellafast. Or maybe it's just naturally built different. Either way, S4716 has shattered what we thought we knew about how stars behave around black holes. Turns out, stars can be speed demons too. So next time you feel proud about hitting 120 kilometers per hour on the freeway, just remember, out there in the heart of the galaxy, S4716 is lapping a black hole while barely breaking a sweat at speeds that would give you a whiplash. Show off. Eta Carina. Some things are dangerous because they're already broken. Eta Carina is dangerous because it's still holding together, barely. Like a cracked dam swollen with water, ready to burst at any second, this double star system is leaking energy and matter into space faster than anything around it. About 7,500 light-years away, Eta Carina isn't a solo star actually. It's 2 stars locked in a cosmic slugfest, shedding gas and rage into the void. Back in the 1840s, Eta Carina put on a spectacle now known as the Great Eruption. For a while, it became the second brightest object in the night sky, brighter than anything except the moon. To Earthlings of the time, it must have looked like a hole had been punched straight through the sky. But despite all that chaos, Eta Carina didn't actually die. It faked its own death like some melodramatic soap opera character and left behind the homunculus nebula, a bloated glowing scar of gas expanding at speeds topping over 6.2 million miles per hour. The stats on this thing are straight up absurd. Eta Carina A is about 90 times more massive than the Sun, blasting light at 5 million times our star's brightness. Its smaller partner, Eta Carina B, still dwarfs most stars we know, clocking in at 30 solar masses and shining a million times brighter than the Sun. Every 5.5 years, they swoop dangerously close in a cosmic near miss called a periastron passage, whipping up stellar winds and slamming gas into each other like two hurricanes colliding. This violent handshake fuels the ever-growing nebula and lights up the surrounding dust clouds, creating eerie light echoes that ripple through the dark like ghost flashes from the past. Pulsing that much violence, it's no surprise that Eta Carina is nearing the end of its life. It's burning through its fuel at a reckless speed, gearing up for a supernova or even a hypernova that could release more energy in a few seconds than our Sun will put out over its entire lifetime. When it finally blows, the blast could temporarily outshine the entire Milky Way. R136A1. If the universe had a Jim Bro phase, R136A1 is what it would look like. This monster isn't just big, it's the most massive known star in the entire universe. But here's the twist. It's not even that big looking. While you might expect the universe's heavyweight champion to be some bloated, sluggish blob, R136A1 is actually only about 30 times wider than our Sun. It's like finding out your neighbor's compact car had a nuclear reactor stuffed inside. Floating in the Large Magellanic Cloud, a galaxy park just next door, R136A1 is sitting dead center in the Tarantula Nebula, the wildest star-forming region in our galactic neighborhood. It's surrounded by over 200 other screaming bright stars, but R136A1 still manages to steal the spotlight like a diva crashing a middle school talent show, and it deserves the drama. Its mass is somewhere between 170 to 320 suns. Brightness? Try 4.7 million times brighter than our Sun. R136A1 radiates more energy in 4 seconds than the Sun does in an entire year. That's not a star. That's a cosmic energy drink shotgun straight into the veins of space. Oh, and it's young too. Maybe a few 100,000 years old, tops. Classified as a Wolf-Rayet star, R136A1 is also shedding its skin at horrifying speeds. Its stellar winds are blowing away outer layers at about 5.8 million miles per hour, fast enough to make a cheetah cry and a fighter jet file for early retirement. If R136A1 ever decided to replace our Sun, forget tanning lotion. It wouldn't save your skin. R136A1 would outshine the Sun by over 164,000 times, turning Earth into a tragic baked potato in about 2 seconds flat.